I got my souvenir.
Don't forget it. Sure.
Here we go then for the second half. Welcome back for second half coverage of the 1994 Ultimate Frisbee World Championships. Sweden lead by 11 goals to 7.
Yes, and they're playing very, very smart. New York, the U.S. team, making uncharacteristically bad throwing mistakes. Sweden has been capitalizing. They lead by 4.
USA keep possession on that. Rather risky play. Looped up high, but came down safely into the hands of Ben Usadi. America's number 22, Mike Nevins, gets it off to Tony Sheeman, who tries the hut downfield, grabbed nicely by Warson, and after the spectacular play, the easier throw by Warson didn't come off, but that's because it was hit out of his hands by Nama Yunnan. Yunnan marking Warson very closely here. Warson knows where to put the disc, goes out to Skip Kuhn. Again, there's a stoppage on the play.
And it was a pick call, Simon. And it'll end up in midfield, I believe, with Skip Kuhn. The Swedish defender tried to go off man, meaning he left his defender to go where the disc was being passed. Skip Kuhn will put it into play. New York is calling a set play. Look for someone like Ben Usadi to make a hard cut here.
Good chance then for USA to get the first point on the board in the second half. He goes outside to Sheeman. Good grab by him, brought it into his body. Never any danger of him dropping that one. That's his second goal of the game.
A most important score for New York. They were trailing by 4. They brought it to within 3. They're down 11-8.
Go this way, let's go forward. No, I know. And then...
Keep the Shiites on the field! Keep the Shiites on the field! Keep the Shiites on the field! On the field! Keep the Shiites on the field!
Try their wing.
John, that's right.
Drop back on your side.
USA then to pull. And that vital point to edge a little closer to Sweden. Grabbed and played quickly there by Anders Bortvidsson, who had an excellent first half. Moving in nicely, Sweden trying to set something up quickly here. But good marking play by USA's number 28, Blair O'Connor. And Skip Kuhn going down means a stoppage on the play.
The U.S. initially started in a zone defense, but Sweden quickly broke through the defensive cup of the zone. They're now playing man-to-man with Blair O'Connor marking the disc against Niklas Jalava.
You can test it. You can test it.
No, Blair. Oh, that's right. That's right, Blair.
No!
It's uncontested.
I'm not sure about that.
Stalling 5, stalling 6, go back to 5.
There's a question here as to where the stall count should go on this foul. Skip Kuhn was fouled in the midfield by Jonas Forsberg. It looks like it's going to go stall 6. U.S. will count it in.
Hard mark, John. Hard mark.
Kolla hur han markerar det!
Get him, Andy.
Another foul. Andy Schiemann was playing too close to the Sweden offensive player, Botvidsson.
Schiemann still all over Botvidsson, but Botvidsson gets it away this time. Good interception play there by Gewurz, whose defensive efforts in this game have been superb. But like many other members of the USA side, he has been guilty of 1 or 2 loose passes. This is just one of them, although it's going to hang in the air long enough, but out of bounds.
You're absolutely right, Simon. He's playing a terrific defensive game. Leads the team with blocks with 3, but he might also lead the team in turnovers with at least 3. New York is in a zone defense here.
But Botvidsson getting the disc forward quickly to Nama Yunnan, who couldn't find a man free ahead, so went backwards.
Perfect crossfield pass to number 8, Carl Norling.
Turned out to be a good play, and Sweden still have possession and the lead by 11-8.
And the U.S. has switched into a man-to-man, but Yunnan puts it up, and that's a goal.
Super play by Yunnan, who spotted his man free. It was Niklas Jalnovic.
But I'm sorry, Simon, to interrupt, but it's going to come back. It seems that Yunnan traveled when he threw the disc, meaning that he dragged his pivot foot as he was throwing, and it's coming back. No goal. It's still 11-8.
No big throws for him, Dennis. That's it. Move your feet, Dennis. No throws.
Nama Yunnan looking at first to go long where Niklas Jalnovic is waiting in the end zone, but is forced to go short in the end. And Sweden still have possession in the middle of the field. Here's Åke Forsgren seeing a little bit of game action at last into the veteran Botvidsson. Botvidsson gets one out to the edge of the end zone. Sweden trying to find a man free. Good man-to-man marking by the US team. And a fumble on the disc, but it was hit out of his hand, so immediately Sweden will regain possession. That one goes into the edge of the end zone. And a stoppage on that play, Andy.
Another obstruction or pick call in the end zone. That pass will go back to number 17, Stefan Ungegaard. Blair O'Connor will be marking for the U.S. And here it goes, Simon.
Stefan Ungegaard then inside. Good diving block there. And then a second diving attempt. Now, Schiemann made the original block. If the Swedish player had caught that, Andy, would that have been a goal?
Yes, it looked like if he had caught that inbounds, it certainly would have. A great effort by number 14, Jonas Forsberg, on the batted attempt. The U.S. gets the disc, trailing by 3.
Bopperson inside, and a fumble on the goal line. Uncharacteristic by the usually very safe Nicholas Jalovic. And USA getting things going at the other end of the field as quickly as possible. Skip Kuhn sees Tony Schiemann inside. He's completely free to score.
I'm afraid the whole play is going to come back, even though the U.S.'s Dave Babcock made a great grab in midfield. There was a travel call way back in the corner. Still going to be U.S.'s disc.
Dennis Warson then, deep inside his own half, goes long. It was accurate though, very good pass by him. Looking to find some space. And Skip Kuhn catches that and immediately flips it back into play. A spectacular play, and if it can be grabbed by Gewurz, it would have been something special. Gewurz couldn't quite make the grab, but the player was out of bounds. He somehow managed to get the disc back into play, Andy.
They call that the greatest play in Ultimate, and it almost was successful. You see here on the replay, a pass by Dave Babcock sailing out of bounds. Skip Kuhn grabbing it with one hand. As he sails out of bounds, throws it back into play, but cannot get it to John Gewurz. Sweden on the attack.
Sweden have possession then. Sweden mishandle the disc, and an immediate turnover taken very quickly and long. A good chance here for USA. Goal for Blair O'Connor.
A great play by John Gewurz. Picked up the mistake, threw it 50 yards downfield to a wide open Blair O'Connor. The U.S. pulls within 2, 11-9.
twos. Ready?
Juano Flores with the pull for USA, who still trail by 2. Sweden taking a surprising large half-time lead, but USA in this second half coming back strongly. Anders Uranre looking around for options, eventually finds it to his right. And Palm Madsen.
Simon, again, the U.S. is playing zone defense here, hoping to slow Sweden down.
Madsen for Sweden. Madsen for Sweden, then gets it back inside to Anders Uranre. Uranre just basket along those 3 men at the back. Michael Forsgren with him. Trying desperately to find a man free ahead and get this disc up the field. Michael Robertson. Outside to the right wing, and it was Michael Hansky for Sweden.
And then you have a foul on the marker Mike Turoff for the U.S. It'll come right back into play. Travel call. It'll remain Urame's disc. The U.S. doing a very good job of closing all the holes upfield. Sweden just moving it back and forth. There's one in the middle to Danny Eriksson, but they're doing a good job of containing Sweden. And there's a foul. Eric Cochran going over the top of number 11, Par Matsen. Crowd doesn't like it.
Sweden have the disc deep inside their own half. Lots of short passing moves leading to the big play out of defense. Into the middle of the field there for Michael Hansky. Hansky goes back. Palm Madsen inside to Anders Uranre, who hands it off to Danny Eriksson. His poor pass means an immediate turnover for USA. Great chance here for America. Goes inside, good goal. Nice crisscross movements, and Walter van der Schraaf gets on the score sheet.
Yes, Walter caught the disc from Dave Babco. The play, though, was made by Amos Himmelstein, who actually got a foot on the disc on the back pass from Eriksson. That's why the turnover was created. The U.S. now trails by 1, 11-10.
nothing. Guys, good team. Yeah, good talk, man.
Keep the Shiites on the field! Keep the Shiites on the field! Keep the Shiites on the field!
Kevin Rhodes. Kevin Rhodes.
Dennis Warson gets the play underway for USA, who've scored 3 in a row. Sweden, no action at their end zone in this second half.
Again, Simon, New York, that's the USA team, playing zone defense. Sweden is yet to beat it. Now they switch to a quick man-to-man. Sweden is wide open on this set.
The disc inside with the veteran Bartfridson. Looking for somebody ahead of him.
A pit called, Simon, in the midfield. Again, a player, the defensive player was obstructed by an offensive player. It'll remain Sweden's disc.
Bartfridson for Sweden. Using his pivot foot well there to find some space to his left. Sweden still lead, but only just. USA with 3 in a row. Pulling ever closer, 11-10. And a disc, and surely kicked out of his hand there.
It sure was. Walter van der Schraff of the US made a diving attempt, got back up, and actually fouled number 14, Jonas Forsberg. Sweden's disc.
Forsberg, great first half from him. He needs to get going in the second. As do his Swedish teammates. Gets it out to his left-hand side. It's with Stefan Angergaard. Angergaard using his pivot foot well. Gets that one forward. A diving attempt there, the grab. And very nearly falling into the path of Nama Yunnan, but Yunnan couldn't get there quick enough. It fell onto the ground, and that's a turnover, USA.
Yes, he seemed to fire that a little bit too quickly toward the end zone. Now the US has the opportunity to tie the game. They're down 11-10. Another throw to no one. Kareem Bassa, the second time today. He's usually very steady. Bartfridson now has the disc.
Bartfridson then for Sweden. He's been the focus for much of this game. Goes horizontal, but couldn't find his man, Nicholas Jalovic.
US gets a lucky break.
I want cottage cheese! Cottage cheese!
John Gewurz for USA, calling there for cottage cheese. An explanation I feel needed there, Andy.
Well, that's a set design play. He had it on the sideline. You saw Blair O'Connor run quickly up the line and stop. And he's looking to pass it inside, and that's what happened. He was wide open.
I thought he was just hungry. The disc comes forward there, grabbed by Sweden just on the edge of their own end zone. Good interception. But again, USA falling back into the pattern of the first half, not getting their passes going. Good attempt by Blair O'Connor to make the grab, but that's forward to Nama Yunnan. Makes the play, a spectacular play by Sweden. and how desperately they needed that point after 3 in a row from USA.
Oh, yes, it surely was. Yunnan outran the speedy Dennis Warson to get his second goal of the game. Sweden leads 12-10.
Come on!
Anders Urenray again getting some distance on that disc, but it spins out of play to the right-hand side.
And here for the first time, Simon, in the rules, on a bad throw-off, you can actually ask for another. Here they're asking Sweden to throw off again because it landed so far out of bounds. It's known as a re-pull.
Urenray for Sweden. Likes to see a lot of the disc, responsible for most of the throw-offs as well, and get some distance on that one. And they're asking if it be, and they're asking that to be taken again as well, Andy.
Yes, I think part of the strategy here is Sweden likes to throw these discs way out of bounds so they can set their defense up on a brick rule call. Here in New York, or the USA, would like to get the disc in the middle of the field so they can run their offense up the field quickly before the Swedes can set their defense. It's also another way to fluster the opposition, which I think they're doing a good job of doing right now. Sweden is not happy with these 2 calls in a row. Though I might add, completely within their rights, as they are written into the rules of Ultimate.
So here we go again with Anders Urenray.
And a much better toss, and that'll land in the field of play, I believe, or close to it. And he's going to take it. Yes, landed just out of bounds, but close enough that the US strategy may not have worked here. Sweden still gets to set up their defense. New York will have to run a set play from the middle of the field from their stack. That's gone. That's a mistake.
An immediate turnover there, and Sweden capitalizing on it very quickly indeed. And surely Gawur is going in far too hard on his man. It's not the first time he's done that in this game.
But he admits he made a mistake. They shook hands or grabbed one another. It's going to be number 11, Par Mattsson's disc. But certainly was an aggressive play.
Let's get this back. Come on, we gotta have this, New York. Let's get a D.
Show now, get it back, come on, Nebo! Come on, get back! Le beste Trenta qui est là!
Par Mattson then
Come on, Johnny, tough one.
gets Gawur in on him quickly.
Come on, tough,
Plays it
tough,
inside
tough.
to Robertson. Robertson to the right-hand side, and Danny Eriksson, an actor back in Gothenburg, and gets that one into the end zone. A chance here for Sweden. Great grab, and that's another goal for Nama Yunnan.
Yunnan, his third, but perhaps one of the most spectacular plays of the afternoon. Eriksson lofts an overhead to the right side, and you see here on the replay the concentration of Yunnan grabbing it with two hands outstretched right before the end line. It's now 13-10 US. Excuse me, 13-10 Sweden. That was Eriksson's fourth assist of the night, or the afternoon. Danny Eriksson's fourth assist of the afternoon.
Watch for the Z. Set for both. Set for both.
Sweden all set to pull. This time it's Åke Forsgren taking the responsibility. And USA getting things going very quickly indeed. Needing to strike back as Sweden have gone ahead by 3 again. Danny Warson been a bit quieter in this second half of the game, but such an important part of the US team. Gets it out to the more experienced John Gewurz, who exchanges passes, has control of the disc around the midway stage of the field on the left-hand side into Skip Kuhn. Kuhn could have virtually handed the disc off to Gewurz there, but Sweden were all over him. He's not happy about that.
No, they are talking about it, but it will be Skip's disc. The US will put it back into play about 20 yards from the goal line.
Jonas Forberg is definitely too close. Kuhn is indicating he's got to be a disc away from him. And once he is, they'll get this play going. USA looking to strike back into this game. They trail by 3. John Gewurz has a man free inside, can't find him. Good marking by the Swedish defender.
A pick call, again, a defensive player obstructed an offensive player here. Goes back, US will get the disc. John Gewurz will put it into play, Simon.
Black Warrior.
He has 10 seconds to release this disc. Goes inside, nice play, diving grab by Danny Warson. And USA get an important goal.
It was a design play, Simon. Gewurz called an eraser. And if you see on the replay, the first 2 guys on the stack, one cut to the right, one cut to the left, and the third man, Dennis Warson, cut straight at him for a wide open score. It's now 13-11 in Sweden's lead. I'm doing my best.
USA with Gewurz. This time side-arming it down the field. Didn't go for the backhand or the spin around. And it loops around like a football banana kick, coming back to land just on the edge of the end zone. Sweden get going from deep within their own half.
Again, the U.S. is in a zone, hoping that Sweden will make an errant pass.
The more the team has to pass between themselves, the higher the probability of a turnover. Sweden, though, pretty safe hands in this game so far. They lead by 13 to 11. Par Madsen, you often find him over on that right-hand side. Like to see wings, and again it's those three Swedish players just passing it between themselves, trying to find some space. Eventually they get out of the end zone. But Tony Schiemann all over his man, and it was Nicholas Jalovic who couldn't get it away for Sweden, so they remain pinned back deep in their own half. They still lead, though. No need for panic in the Swedish camp. I don't think they're capable of panic. They seem so intense, their mind so much around the game. At the same time, very calm under pressure. Good pass out of defense this time. And now some progress down the field to Robertson. You're right back to Madsen. Madsen looks to go long, couldn't do so because Karim Basta was right in on him. And this is good play from both sides. Good short passing, keeping possession by Sweden. But USA successful in keeping Sweden pinned back in their own half. Tries an overhead, slices through the air. The disc goes vertical for a moment there, but comes down in a pancake style. And a foul from behind, knocked out of his hand. It was USA's Amos Himmelstein who committed the foul. So the play will restart with Frederick Hedstrom on the left wing, around the middle of the field.
Go for track play at some point.
I have to. Can I check it in? What? You look behind you and tell me I'm going to give him this flick, you're saying.
Yeah, tell you what, I got this flick for a sec.
Okay, here we go.
Hedstrom wants to make the play, wants to get on with things, but USA still deciding amongst themselves how they're going to set up this defense.
Keep it up.
Turnover.
Well, USA kept on pressing. Eventually it had to happen. And Van der Schraaf tries to take things quickly. Can't do so. Now they're underway.
3, 4, 5.
You saw and heard clearly there the count up to 10. But he released it on the 4 count. Danny Wilson, great grab. He touched the line as well. Inside, he goes to number 9, Walter van der Schraaf. I think Wilson for a moment there thought he'd scored himself. He realized he came down the line, he saw the chalk dust go up and inside, and it was van der Schraaf who made the ultimate play and scored the goal.
Well, I'll tell you, Dennis Warson made a great one-handed grab on the overhead throw by Andy Schiemann. You see on the replay, his foot landed on the line. He called himself not in and threw to a wide-open Walter van der Schraaf to bring the U.S. within 1 point. They're down 13-12.
You know that I'm going to be trying. After, because they do it.
Dennis Warson then for USA. Gets that one to hang in the air a long, long time before it finally comes down. Sweden will let it hit the ground and set up the play from deep inside their own half.
Let's go, New York! Watch it wide out. Behind you, John.
Sweden looked a little unsettled on this possession, and there's the turnover.
Barbizon, usually so calm, let that one go, and that's an immediate goal by USA. They capitalize on the mistake so soon that Sweden have a chance to get back.
Exactly. On that possession, Sweden was not expecting the zone. And when New York, the U.S. team, set up in it, they threw it away. It's now 13 all as the U.S. has pulled even this half.
USA then back, level at 13 each. Dennis Warson takes the throw off. And Sweden will start with it on their own goal line.
A critical point for Sweden here. They were up 4, 11-7 at halftime. They've only scored 2 times in the second half. They need to break the New York zone, or else I sense that this game may swing the side of the U.S.
Sweden then starting with a slightly risky play there. Palm Madsen had to jump high to grab that one above his head under some pressure. And on the goal line, Sweden have it. And USA really stalling Sweden for as long as they possibly can, way back on their own goal line. Sweden again having to build very, very slowly with short passes along their defense.
Stay left, Mose. Nothing to your left, Mose.
Whole shield style, Mose.
Nothing to your left, Mose.
Whole shield style.
Nothing around you left.
Whole shields. Whole shield.
Now Sweden managed to get out of their end zone, and very good grab there by Palm Madsen, who had to work hard because it wasn't a good throw in the first place by Danny Eriksson. Eriksson, perhaps a pick of the bunch over the whole tournament for Sweden, hasn't, by his high standards, had a great final. The disc comes out to number 19, Fredrik Hedstrom. Hedstrom goes backwards. Again, Sweden finding it difficult to get out of their own half. Overheads it to Madsen. Madsen edging slowly towards the middle of the field. Sweden trying to cut it out onto the left-hand side. Still can't get very far forward. Ray to Eriksson. Eriksson inside. Good grab. It looked like it could have been a fumble there. Just managed to clutch onto it. Hedstrom with the disc. Gets it forward to Michael Hansky. Hansky's first year on the national side. Gets that one back. And this is a good chance here for Robertson to set something up. Looking for somebody ahead of him. Eventually has to go backwards. Ray seeing a lot of the disc in this game. Seems they're looking to him every time to set something up.
And there's a throwaway, one of his first of the game. And here's US's first chance to take the first lead since being up early in the first half.
So USA with Skip Kuhn, they have possession. Never takes that red cap off, both on and off the field. And a timeout called by Kuhn.
Swing low.
Standing.
The wall. Swing low. 7 7 in. 7 in. The wall.
Come on. Everyone, 7 in.
7 in, just 7 in. When I said timeout, you said swing low, sweet chariot. Come on. Vinny, skip. Skip. Swing low. Blair,
Silent.
we're one team.
Too early.
Swing low. Swing low. Coming forward.
Walter, you've got
Walter, there you go.
Mo's, Turf, myself.
Walter, you're right in front of me. I'm gonna be sliding. When Babs gets it out here, you come underneath for him. And then I'm for you, or I'm for Skip, or I'm for Babs.
You
Anyone.
you each other.
Execute.
Here you go. Here you go.
Come on, Mo.
Is it over here? It's not there.
An unusual timeout there by USA. They've either, Andy, got some sort of secret sign language going on, or they've lost it completely.
I think it's a little of both. It's a little cheer they do to psych themselves up. We'll see a design play from the middle of the field. The first pass will come a little bit short, and then they'll look for Dennis Warson, number 69, out of the back.
Important moment in the game then, perhaps at 13 each. Skip Coombe plays it short. They'll be looking for somebody to break away deep. Can't go for the spectacular long play because of good marking by Sweden, and a great cutout there by Sweden's Par Mattsson. An important interception there, and Sweden, as the disc hits the ground, have the play.
That was Matsson's first block of the game. Comes at a very opportune time.
Taken quickly by Anders Ray, goes long. A chance here for Sweden, easily taken. A pancake grab into the chest, and that's a great point for Niklas Jalovic. That's a great point for Michael Hansky.
That's Hansky's first goal. Sweden goes up 14-13.
What the fuck is
Sweden to throw off. This time it's Åke Forsgren who makes the pull. And USA trying to get things going very quickly. Not allowing the Swedish team to advance too far before they get the play going, which is good tactics. The diving grab there by Ben Usadi goes long. A chance here for a goal. It's going to go. Good score for USA.
A terrific throw by Ben Usadi. A long backhand drive over the outstretched arms of Stefan Angergaard to Kareem Basta. It's now 14 apiece.
Basta doesn't miss those. Very calm, level-headed Wall Street broker. Doesn't miss many of those.
Come on, New York, let's break them now. Break it now.
The pull from USA's Danny Warson will go out of bounds. So Sweden will take this from the brick point. That mark just 10 yards into the field.
Again, Simon, New York setting up in their zone offense. They've been very successful with it this half. It's got them back into the game. It's 14 all.
You got 19. Go with it. Now drop.
You're hammering with the disc.
You're right. You got one. You got one. Go in, Nobody. Now right there with him.
Come in, Joe.
Switch. You got one.
A little bit of wobble there on the disc, but it was well grabbed by Michael Hansky, the youngest member of the Swedish side. And USA claiming that Namma Yunan caught the disc and then dragged his foot over the line.
The two players will discuss this, and then a line judge who is on the sideline is come over and says that he was in bounds. Namma Yunan made a good grab, but the zone almost forced a mistake by the Swedish side.
Ready? Got it. 3, 2, 1.
Yunan 3 goals in this game so far. Gets play going again for Sweden. He's a player very much respected by the US side, but a fairly new addition to this Swedish team.
I think he's the youngest member of the squad, at 20 years of age.
Good grab low there by Nicholas Jalovic, but the play will come back.
Yes, a traveling call on number 9, Anders Juramre. It'll be Sweden's disc.
You've got to pivot your foot. You've got to keep it there. Can't move it. Well, you've got the disc in your hands. Exactly what happens this time as Juramre splays it out to his left-hand side to Yunan. Yunan goes from one side of the field to the other, and a spectacular hurl down the field there, and timeout called by Sweden. Great pass in the first instance by Nicholas Jalovic, and Namma Yunan bursting down the field to the left-hand side, immediately calling the timeout. Great play, Sweden.
It sure was, and a smart timeout as it's still 14-14.
They're ready to play again. It's Nama Yunnan, 20 years of age, looking for the left-hand side. Sweden pressing. It's tied at 14 each. Yunnan has it again. Again goes to his left. Chance here for Michael Forsgren. Goes horizontal, and a terrible grab inside the end zone by Niklas Jalovic, and a great chance there to go ahead. USA capitalize immediately, and Nama Yunnan goes up, and from end to end, USA score.
And I think there is discussion on the field about whether or not there was a travel by Dennis Warson on the long throw that Walter van der Schraaf grabbed in front of Yunnan. He did hit Blair O'Connor for the score, but I think it will be coming back. End-to-end action.
And Dennis Warson not in the least bit happy about that. And is still debating.
A critical point in the game. Sweden could have taken the lead yet again.
Dennis Warson taking acting classes back in New York City and using every single lesson he's had so far to demonstrate his dissatisfaction at this particular call.
It's US's disc on their goal line. The US is calling a set play. Look for someone, Walter van der Schraaf, number 9, to make a hard cut into the open area of the field.
Warson then, I guess, loses the argument and has to start right back on his goal line. Gewurz with it. He's only got 10 seconds to release the disc. Was running out of time, so Schiemann had to come close to receive the pass, and another stoppage on the play.
A stoppage because one of the Swedish defenders was obstructed in the midfield. It's known as a pick call. It remains Sweden's disc. Excuse me, US disc. Check that. John Gewurz, guarded by number 15, Anders Buttvisen.
John Gewurz then starts inside his own end zone. Watched very closely there by Botvidsen, but releases it out to Andy Schiemann. Always reminds me of a pirate. Going long there to Denny Warson. Good attempt at a grab. As he fell to the ground, the disc bounced free. And Sweden take advantage of the turnover to get things going very quickly. And two of the stars of their team, Nama Yunnan and Anders Joranre, pass it between themselves before going long. There's a chance here, up in the air. Didn't make the grab, but certainly intercepted the play. Good work by USA at the back there.
End-to-end action here. John Gewurz puts it long. All the way up to Dennis Warson. Does he have any room? No. Out of bounds. Both teams taking lots of chances with the game tied 14 apiece. Sweden's disc on their own goal line.
Forsgren with the disc, goes overhand. Good pass, straight to Botvidsen. Botvidsen takes it down on one knee, gets back onto his feet quickly and releases that one to Hansky. Good work this by the Swedes. They're making good progress down the field. A chance here for a goal. Nicely taken by Sweden. It's Nama Yunnan again, and Sweden go ahead.
It's now 15-14. If you see here on the replay, the U.S. defense looked unsure of what they were playing, zone or man. The Swedes took advantage of it, worked it up the field. Jarmre hitting a streaking Yunnan for his 4th goal of the game.
decide you want to go to talk to people.
Okay.
Okay, you know what I mean?
Right.
You can't just say, yeah, on the fly, or if there's a stoppage or something, you decide you want to go to Tijuana.
Okay.
Tell people on the line, second digit live, and you call it.
Okay.
Only you, okay?
Vi har ju världens bästa defense! Världens bästa defense! Kom igen! Kom igen! Kom igen nu gubbar! Kom igen nu killar! Ja, kom igen!
Sweden make the pull. Stays and hangs in the air. It seems like for ages, but it eventually comes down, and US unable to make the quick play. A turnover there by USA. Sweden have lost just once in this tournament, and that was to the unbeaten US. They lead, though, by 15 goals to 14 in this final.
You see Anders Jarmre walking slowly, calling for a set play, and he has a man wide open, and it's a goal.
Good work there by the receiver, Michael Forsgren. And a quick release was the secret there. Anders Jarmre making the pass, and Sweden go 2 up, 16-14.
And the match is to 21.
Jarmre. Good velocity on that one. Good height too. That hangs. And USA unable to grab the disc and get things going quickly. Just let it drop, and they'll play from their own goal line. Skip Kuhn grabbed that one. Good leap by him. Needed to work hard for it. Gets it over to Gewurz. Gewurz flips inside. This is good play. A chance here. Oh, Juano Flores so close to making the grab inside the end zone. Just a fingertip away from that one. Juano Flores, a New York artist whose brother Aaron is in the Great Britain side. He's done well in this game so far. Counting for 3 goals, but unable to make the grab on that occasion. Comes forward for Sweden there, another turnover. USA try and get this moving very quickly indeed. Gets it to Flores. Flores forward to Gewurz. Gewurz fakes and calls a freeze.
I'm out. I'm out.
Gewurz to his left-hand side. Some 15 yards or so to go to the end zone. Gewurz with it. Plays that inside towards Danny Warson. It went over his head, but no one able to grab it before it fell to the ground. Sweden gets possession back.
John is just not having a good game offensively. That's got to be his 5th throwing error today.
Sweden with it. Eriksson in the middle of the field. Plays that one forward. That's a lovely throw down the sidelines. There's a chance here for Sweden. Good block, though, by number 22, Mike Nevins. It looked like a surefire score for Sweden, but Nevins leaping in there to make the play.
Mike Nevins may have saved the U.S. chances with that diving block. The disc here on the replay, you'll see a beautiful sidearm throw by Danny Eriksson. It catches a little air, which gives Nevins a chance to run under it. There he throws his body. And the U.S. only down 2. It could have been 17-14, but they still have possession of the disc.
Skip Kuhn goes to his left.
And there Mike Nevins was fouled by number 14, Jonas Forsberg. It will be the U.S. disc. It will be Mike Nevins' disc for the U.S. at his own goal line.
Nevins for the U.S. Forsberg
And
doing his
that's
best.
thrown away.
Oh, that's terrible play by Nevins. It was well forced, though, by Forsberg, who seemed to be all over his man.
Simon, he may have been tired after making that layout block. Now the U.S. has to play very hard defense, with the Swedes looking to answer right back.
Eriksson then comes close to grab it. Good play inside, lovely goal.
Perfect play, got it in the middle of the field to Danny Eriksson. He hit to Namas Yunan for his 5th goal of the game. Sweden up 17-14 in a game to 21. Simon, you couldn't ask for a better final game in the World Ultimate Championship here in Colchester, England. Sweden ahead, 17-14. The decided underdogs coming into this round, this final match. But here they are, 4 points away from victory.
And they make the throw in to get this play underway. Plenty of height and distance on that one. And Skip Kuhn will catch that and take it from his own goal line. Looks inside, finds his man, Schiemann. Schiemann, the hardware store owner from New York, gets that back to Skip Kuhn. Kuhn into the middle of the field to Denny Warson. Warson, such an important player in this USA side, uses his height so well. Gets it in to Blair O'Connor. Good check by O'Connor. Cuts back using his pivot foot to Schiemann. Up to Denny Warson. Great goal by Warson. USA back in it.
Yes, right back. They quickly came back here to make it 17-15. You see on the replay how spread out the US are in this possession. They move it up the field. Schiemann gets it on the right side, turns and fires to a wide open Dennis Warson. That was Warson's 3rd goal of the game. 17-15 Sweden.
They're putting in their zone also.
Go New York, play defense! Come on, Skip! You haven't had a chance to do that, you know.
Dennis Warson with this pull for USA. Gets that one into the end zone for Sweden. Dennis Warson absolutely loves this game. No one loves the game of Ultimate more than Warsden, who actually wrote his senior thesis on the history of Ultimate. Read that one, Andy?
Haven't read it yet, not on the bestseller list.
No, it's a rarely read document, but I'm sure Warson's very proud of it. Deep inside their own half, Sweden being pinned back by USA. But going long out to the left-hand side. That was a good pass, and Borgfredson made the space to receive it. Good work by Sweden this. They lead by 2 goals. It's a first to 21. It's 17-15. Switching from right to left. Lovely take on the dive there by the veteran Anders Borgfredson. Perhaps a bit of a risky play, but it came off nicely, and Sweden keep possession.
And they're working the zone, the US zone around, not giving them a whole lot of time to set up. Here's another throw by Jarome to that same Borgfredson.
Borgfredson inside this time, and perhaps one of the easiest grabs in that whole sequence of plays was fumbled by Fredrik Hedstrom, and USA have possession. Gewurz plays that one long into the middle. A chance here for Warson. He'll get that one. He's got a man free. Surely a goal for USA. There it is, and the goal taken eventually by Blair O'Connor.
Right there, you see the poise of the US team. Gewurz picks up the disc after the turnover, throws it over the head of 2 Swedish defenders. Dennis Warson backing it up, is all alone, throws to a wide open Blair O'Connor. The US now trails by 1, 17-16.
Warson then with a pull for the team representing the United States of America, based in New York City. Taken by Sweden.
Foul call. Play resumes.
They quickly sort that out between themselves. And Sweden being forced further and further back by USA. Danny Eriksson raises a hand, and I think the play will come back
Yes,
to the goal line, and Anders Juremre.
Skip Kuhn on the US called Anders Juremre on a travel, meaning he moved his pivot foot before he threw the disc. It'll head into play just a moment. You can sense the tension out here. Score is 17-16, the first to 21 wins. Sweden ahead, and have been so for most of this game. The first prolonged stoppage will now be ended as Skip Kuhn for the U.S. puts it into play.
Urenbray inside to Eriksson. Backhands that one. Another loose pass by Eriksson, who's not on his game today. He's been superb throughout the tournament, and he's shown moments of brilliance in this tournament and today. But by his high standards, he really should expect more of himself. As Gewurz goes to Skip Kuhn. Kuhn inside. Good work this by USA. They need another point to tie it up. Go to the right-hand side.
And that will come back as John Gewurz made his cut. He locked knees with Anders Botbesen. Botbesen lips off to the sideline. Someone will have to replace him on the Swedish side. It still will be Kevin Rhodes' disc for the U.S.
Johnny, simple, simple.
The U.S. makes a substitution. Since a Swede went out for an injury, the U.S. can make a substitution. Ron Papanak was substituted out. Ben Yasadi for the U.S., a strong handler, someone who moves the disc upfield, is substituted in for the U.S.
Settle it, settle it.
Simon, apparently the play will resume with John Gewurz handling the disc, though Sweden, I think, is saying that it should go back to Kevin Rhodes because it was an injury. We'll see how the players resolve it. And yes, in fact, it will go back to Kevin Rhodes.
Johnny, set up! No, Johnny, where's the foul happen?
So Kevin Dusty Rhodes for the USA, getting things going again. Looks inside, it's a great chance here. Goal for Skip Kuhn. USA draw level again.
Again, a set play off the stoppage, a quick move by Skip Kuhn, wide open for the easy pass from Kevin Rhodes. We are tied at 17 in a game for the World Championship until 21.
Let's go New York! USA!
Come on, USA, let's go. Come on, guys.
Gewert sidearms it down the field. The pull from him goes from one side of the field to the other, will fall out of play. So Sweden can start with the disc 10 yards into the field of play, right in the dead center. And that's where they'll build the next play. Trying once again to establish the lead. It's tied at 17s.
The U.S. will again play zone defense. It's given them great success this half. They were trailing by 4 at halftime. It's now even at 17.
Nothing there. There's nothing, Walter.
And as Urim Ray goes out to the right-hand side. And that's a very poor pass again by Nicholas Jalovic. And USA have control of the disc with Warson. Warson, a short one to Flores. Flores looks inside, can't find a man free. Eventually he's got a mark on him. He perhaps should have got rid of the disc by now. Calls a timeout.
A smart timeout, Simon. As you noted, no one was moving. It's late in the game. After 7 days of play, both teams seem a little tired. Heads-up play by Juano Flores using, I believe, the second timeout for this half. Each team gets 3.
Fake the one to the flat and go right to the corner. Whoever's sliding up first, make a fake to the flat.
Listen, we're not going to theorize anymore. We're going to do it.
What theorize? I'm telling you what to play.
All right, just listen. Here's what's happening. Juano's got it. We're going to stack. We're going to go uptown. Johnny is going to step out quick. Just step out.
The
Look.
first man?
Yes, you're the first man. Step out. Juano, if it's there, it's there. If not, he's going to come right back to you. And then you get into the stack, and we run. No, we can run it. I don't want to run it, Dennis.
All right,
I don't want to run it.
Don't mess
this
with it. This is what we're gonna do. Yeah. This is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna run uptown. We're gonna run a 45-degree stack away from Juano. No.
Shut up. Listen. What happened to what I just said?
Johnny, line up number 1. Walter, line up number 2. Walter, you cut to the inside out. Juano, you deliver it for a goal. If it's there. If not, Johnny.
Hold it.
I don't like that. I'm telling you now. Okay. I don't like.
Calm fucking down.
I'm very calm. I do not want to force a fucking hard inside-out throw. Juano, if you have the throw, you're beautiful. I know you have it. I don't care. I don't want to fucking do that. And I've been shutting up and watching things go on that I don't like. Let's fucking have a dump and a 10-second count, and then we'll fucking score. No, don't tell me.
Don't tell them the fucking play.
All right. So what's going on?
You guys.
Johnny's giving him a cut. If he's got it, he's got it. If not, then come to, and then we fucking run.
Okay, but listen.
What do you want to run?
Let's run KGP.
Okay.
Don't run out of
Guys, bring it in.
Dennis, I don't need to hear any apologies. Just score the goal. All right, okay? No fucking apologies out here. Sorry means shit. We'll just get a fucking goal.
So the timeouts break up. And really, perhaps this is a time when a coach, as Sweden have, a more formal coaching structure perhaps comes in useful, because some dissent in the US timeout there, Andy.
Yes, you saw in the huddle that Dennis Warson did not like the initial play called, perhaps because his number wasn't called. But what to look for here is a quick dump cut, meaning John Gewert's number 14.
Juano Flores with it into Warson, makes the play. And Warson will be happy that he was involved in the end and scores another goal for the US to go ahead 18-17.
And there was not the play called in the huddle. They wanted to go to Gewertz for a swing pass. Instead, Warson saw that it broke down, cut very hard, beat his man to the spot for an easy toss for the goal from Juano Flores. The US takes an 18-17 lead. That's Warson's 4th goal of the game.
Denny Warson then makes a pull, backhands it down the field this time.
And a straight man-to-man defense by the U.S. They feel that the Swedes are tired, and they have the legs to beat them to the spot.
The grab there by Stefan Angergaard. Looks forward to Eriksson. Eriksson tries a long pull. A chance here, but no, it's over the head of Nama Yunnan and will fall for a turnover. Once the disc hits the ground, it becomes the property of the other side.
John Gewurz played great defense on that long shot by Eriksson to Newman. He was stride for stride. Yunnan went up, but couldn't get to it. It's now the U.S. disc. They lead by 1, 18-17, a critical point in the game for both teams. Play stoppage due to a foul. Yunnan and Gewurz shake hands. Still US's disc.
John Gewurz, marked very closely by Nama Yunnan. Gewurz, a 14-year veteran of this game, doubling up this week as coach of the junior side for USA.
And those juniors were beaten badly today by the Swedes, 19-1. So the US Open team looking to exact some revenge.
Gewurz goes long. A diving attempt there by Denny Warson, unsuccessful. And Bopvidsen for Sweden has control of the plate. Goes overhand, overhead. Goes overhead, and a chance for Sweden denied there by some play in the defense for USA, but Nama Yunnan doesn't seem particularly happy about it.
He thinks he got bumped by Gewurz as he was going up. They're going to talk about it, see if the players can resolve it. If not, it'll go to those observers that have been watching on the sideline, who have been pretty quiet during the course of this rather heated game. Must remind the viewers at home that ultimate is a non-contact sport. And if we see on the replay, there was some contact, and it will be Sweden's disc.
Well, they settled it, Andy. No need for a referee in this game.
And it will be a turnover. The Yunnan agreed that there was no foul on the play. Actually, they're still discussing this. Apparently, John Gewurz made a clean defensive block. The observers ruled in U.S. favor here. There was no foul on the play, as both players, as the replay shows, went cleanly to the disc. The contact, if there was any, was incidental. John Gewurz will take it on his own goal line.
Skip Kuhn going nose to nose, or maybe I should say peak to peak there with the Swedish coach, Niklas Lorentzen. The game does resume, not for long though. Another dispute here. We need to send Eric Cochran, the USA captain in number 99, out there, because he is an attorney back in New York. Perhaps is what's needed at this stage.
That's all you need to have Cochran slap you with a suit.
on their own goal line then. USA get things going. Let's hope for a bit more a fluid play, but an immediate turnover there.
Yes, USA player Dave Babko is not having a good game throwing the disc. That must be his 4th or 5th turnover. Sweden's back with another attempt, down 1.
It's Eriksson. Danny Eriksson likes to throw long. Learned some of his ultimate in New York City, where he played for a while. Went to America for just one reason, to play ultimate in New York City. Came back a much better player. But Sweden turned the disc over.
Andy Sheeman with a critical block for the United States at midfield. We'll see if they work it. No, they throw it long. Dennis Worson to a wide open Dave Babko, but he missed on this attempt. It's quite a long point. U.S. still leading 18-17.
The veteran Botvidson goes inside. That was a close call. But a huge hurl down the field there by Eriksson. This is good work by Sweden. Inside to Nama Yunan. Superb end-to-end play by Sweden. It's level again.
A wonderful, wonderful sequence after a long point. Eriksson makes the hard cut, gets open on Joe McHugh, throws long to number 9, Anders Jormre, and then hits his favorite receiver, Namar Yunan, scoring his 6th goal and perhaps one of the most important ones of the game. It's now level 18 all.
And Sweden's top 3 players involved there from end to end. Sweden with Jormre throwing off to start this next play. All tied at 18 each. And really, we were hoping it was going to be close, but most pundits during the week, most so-called experts, Andy, saying that USA could run away with this. It hasn't been the way it's gone.
Not at all, especially after yesterday's tough game against Canada. Sweden had to come from behind to get to the finals. They didn't play all that well, but they're here and they're playing just the game of their lives.
Juano Flores, the New York sculptor, trying to get this play going. Planting a very obvious pivot foot. And using it well to swing from left to right, to throw off his marker. Good work by him. But then when the player had to leap high, well, play carrying on, but back where the original grab was made on the sidelines, another dispute.
Exactly, the observer who is allowed to make active line calls. You'll see here on the replay at this critical juncture of the game, this pass was high by Flores to Nevins on the sideline. He bobbles it, and then when he comes down with the disc, he lands squarely on the sideline, and the sideline in ultimate is out of bounds. It will be Sweden's disc and a chance to take the lead at 19-18. Our spotters on the field have told us that Juan Flores was fouled on that throw. That's why it was hung up so long. So it's going back to the U.S. There's no dispute. Back to you, Simon.
So Flores, when it came back to him, had the chance to repair the damage, threw it away. The disc comes down to ground, and Sweden have possession. And what a vital point this is. Remember, a team has to win by 2 points, and it's the first to 21. It's tied at 18 each as a timeout is called.
Vic, can you find out how many timeouts each team has used? Thanks, Vic.
Play resumes in with Sweden's number 9, Anders Juremre from Gothenburg. Brilliant in the semi-finals, very much a part of this win, very much a part of this game as well. It's tied at 18 each. Sweden with the possession. Goes back to Michael Forsgren. Forsgren taking his time. He's got 10 seconds to release it. Does so in plenty of time. Out to number 11, Par Madsen. Madsen unspectacular, but very important wing play from him. It goes long. A chance here. If he can make the grab, it's a goal, but no, before Nama Yunan can make it,
it was a spectacular play. Yunan never gave up on the disc. It was thrown over his head. Mike Nevins batted it for the U.S., number 22. Yunan concentrated and grabbed it in the back of the end zone. Sweden now ahead, 19-18. The U.S. walking off the field, scratching their heads, thinking they had a defensive play, but no. Unbelievable.
Nama Yunan scores again for Sweden. They're back up by 19-18.
That was Yunan's 7th goal of the game to go along with 2 assists. He's playing unbelievable ultimate.
The winning Guts team getting into the spirit of this game.
Yes, the Republic of China, the Taiwanese Guts team, gold medal winners in their division, cheering on the Swedes. In fact, they seem to be a big part of the Swedish sideline.
19-18, 2 points away from victory. It's the race to 21.
Simon, I might interject here that the game is to 21, win by 2. If the teams are tied at 20, we reach overtime. At that point, one team must win by 2 to a cap of 25. Once we reach overtime, each team gets 1 timeout each. To this point, each team has used 2 out of their 3 this half.
Anders Juremre for Sweden. Takes most of their throw-offs. Gets some great distance on this one. Skip Kuhn gathers that one.
you've been calling Urame's number all day long. I don't know if he's taken a sub today.
Skip Kuhn sends that one out to John Gewurz, the influential number 14, who's had a patchy game by his standards. At times he's done some very important defensive work, but his throwing hasn't been quite there. Skip Kuhn has it. Has Gewurz behind him, goes for that option. Gewurz looks to sidearm it down the wing, but has to backhand it into Kuhn's field. Gets that up to Danny Warsaw. Warson scores. Another important goal for USA to keep it close and tie it once again, Andy.
Yes, here you see on the replay, just a great play by Gewurz, running up the sideline, getting the disc back into the middle of the field, where he hit Skip Kuhn. Kuhn hit a streaking Dennis Warson. Warson's 5th goal of the game. It's now 19-all.
Killar, bara jobba in den! Jobba in den nu, killar!
Dennis Warson for the USA, whose senior thesis, The History of Ultimate, is still available in the library of Purchase University in Westchester, New York. Gets the pull off for New York, USA, and that will land in the end zone of Sweden, where they'll build this next play. It's tied at 19 each. Both sides 2 points away from the World Championship. Sweden out of their end zone to Eriksson. Eriksson goes right, finds Jalovic. Jalovic looks to hammer it overhead. Can't make the play though. He goes back along the defensive line. The veteran, Jonas Anders Bopfordson. Bopfordson with it. The pass by Bopfordson. Sweden, very disciplined, very well drilled side. Have a huge traveling entourage, a physiotherapist who even administers acupuncture prior to games. Sweden keep possession. Bit of a wobble on that disc, but well taken with a pancake grab there. Down the side of the field, an interception by USA. That could be very important indeed. The pass came in from Michael Forsgren.
John Gewurz, his 4th block of the day. Couldn't come at a better time for the U.S. squad. And there, the U.S. burns their last timeout, their 3rd in this half. Let's see what the U.S. will set up here.
Johnny, you have a switch to throw for offense right now. This is a big one.
Forget about that block.
That block doesn't mean nothing if we don't score. Come on.
So what are they doing? Are they tackling?
No, they're FM. Walter, get your man fucking out of the
Yes.
Come
That slant, that stack was no good, man.
staff.
Johnny.
I didn't see anybody behind.
Guys, we have to convert. John.
Someone get the
John,
staff.
can we get the seven?
We'll take care of it,
John,
Johnny.
we have to convert this timeout. We have to convert. I don't see the 7 in here.
7.
I think we have none left.
It's important that we convert.
All right, let's mellow and chill.
Here it is. This is gold.
This is it. We're going to pretend like the cross is already, it has been swung. Right. Okay? This is what we're doing. We've got the stack here, and it's just a full flood with the back man going through.
Okay, so we're doing a cross from here.
Yeah. Okay, let's have an option.
And the second to last man goes deep.
Who's first man in the stack?
It was me. Do you want it
You
to
can
be
change
me?
it up to whoever you want.
All right, who's the 7?
The 7's right here.
Let's go. Let's go Walter first in the stack, Kribber back in the stack. All right, if Dennis gets it on the cross, he's looking for Babs. All right? Dennis to Babs.
Please don't force it.
They're going to respect you.
No more timeouts. No
Give him a
But
good
listen,
fake.
they're going to respect you too.
Yes, they will.
Give him a good
Don't
fake. Wait, hold up. Stay here. I believe we have no more timeouts.
Zero.
Does everyone hear that?
Everybody got that?
No timeout. If it's a turnover. Listen,
We set it. Let's try and set it.
if it's a long turnover, we're
Let's
going to
try and
reset
set
it.
it.
If we turn it over in the middle of the field, we're going man.
Okay, somebody yell, all right?
Everyone keep their man active. Taking it flat. It's hard to take the rest of these. Take some. What? Take them back.
John Gewurz, who made the block, calling that timeout, etching in the grass with his finger what he wants to happen. I don't think they'll ever score Andy with that big water bottle in the way, but they'll get going here. And as I said, they need to take advantage of their final timeout of this game. It's tied at 19 each. An immediate turnover from the restart. That could be vital. Sweden progressing. They got a man free in the end zone. They find him. Good goal by Sweden. Disastrous play by USA. The grab made inside by Frederick Hedstrom. And a heads-up play from Hedstrom.
An unbelievable sequence off the timeout. John Gewurz threw it cross-field. Sweden put a man off man, a poach. They gambled. They won. They got possession and streaked up the line. They're within 1 point of the greatest upset in Ultimate history.
Sweden have got their top defenseman out there as USA try to draw this level once again. Sweden with the pull. USA getting things going pretty swiftly with Skip Kuhn. Plays it out to Gewurz. Gewurz up forward again.
A critical mistake by Dennis Warson. He didn't realize the pass was heading toward him. This could be it.
Sweden then have a chance here to drive for the winning goal. Play that inside. And unbelievably, another turnover. Neither team at this critical stage of the game can keep possession. USA have it back with Gewurz. Plays it inside to Blair O'Connor. O'Connor being forced back. And another turnover, no.
No, he
Good
grabbed
pickup
that.
off the ground. Great pickup
by Kevin Rhodes.
Kevin Dusty Rhodes does very well there to grab that as it was just skimming the blades of grass. A long play. This could fall to Warson. He's going to go up for it. Warson makes the grab. Great goal.
An unbelievable pass. High in the air. Warson watching, goes up and brings it down. It's 20-all. Warson's 6th goal of the game.
He's going to have to rewrite the final chapter of the history of Ultimate.
That is if they win. The crowd just going nuts here in Colchester. And with that score, bringing it to 20-20, we now enter a period known as overtime. Each team gets an additional timeout. So the Swedes have one, the US have one. One team must win by 2 with a final cap of 25 points. Poor Botkinson.
Me and Kevin Wings, you and Dennis Deep. Skip, take this side. I'm trying. Get that. I know it. Depends on how many guys you got. If you got 2 guys, call me back and I'll go. Fuck that, I'll go.
Warson with the pull. We're into overtime. It's 20-20. The first to 21 becomes irrelevant. A team has to win now by 2 clear points, and Sweden have possession.
New York, the USA team, playing a zone defense, trying to slow the tempo down.
It's worked in the past, but Sweden have shown they are capable of making a spectacular throw out of defense to set up something. Passing it along the defensive line.
Foul called, Blair O'Connor pushed off. Sweden's disc.
Forsgren with it. Again, O'Connor just too close. You've got to be a disc width away. And O'Connor just far too close to Forsgren. And there's Urim Ray. Back to Forsgren. Forsgren looking forward. Upfield, he has plenty of men, but They're so closely marked. And a turnover by Sweden. It was too high. Not a great pass there by Anders Bopvidsen. The veteran should know better than that at a crucial stage of the game.
Bopvidsen has been in almost all game. Perhaps he's a little weary.
Skip Kuhn. Inside. A pass. Goal USA. And they've taken the lead again.
It's 21-20. Quickly off the sideline. It hits to Gewurz. Gewurz just throws it to a streaking Dennis Warson. That's his 7th goal of the game. He also has 6 assists. So out of the 21 US points, Warson figures in 13 of them.
USA then with a pull. They're a point away from the World Championship. It's like a tiebreak in tennis, Andy. You've got to win by 2. And we're into overtime with USA 21-20 ahead of Sweden, who led for so much of this game.
Really, it seems that the Swedes have tired, perhaps both physically and mentally. New York clawed its way back in playing zone, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Making the Swedes pass the disc around the perimeter. The more passes, the probability increases that a mistake will be made.
Sweden with virtually the same 7 guys out there for this entire second half. They haven't gone to their bench.
They look very tentative, and Karim Bassa may have even had a hand on that disc there.
And as Uruguay,
oh my God,
ever back, and very fortunate to keep possession there. Sweden have got to do better than this because they're just a point away from defeat.
And here's a hammer cross field. That's hanging up, and that's going right to a U.S. player. Kevin Rhodes.
Rhodes has possession, gets it quickly to Kuhn. A chance here for USA to wrap it up. Gewurz looks both ways, calls a timeout.
A smart move by Gewurz. They have a timeout in overtime. They use it. Sweden is arguing that they're out of timeouts, but they'll lose this argument. It's 21-20. They are in overtime. A smart play by Gewurz. We'll visit the New York huddle to see what they designed for the final, perhaps the final play of this World Championship.
One voice. Johnny, let us know what's going on. Here we go.
Listen up. No.
Silence. Quiet. We're set for both.
All right. Johnny, what do you want if they track? You tell me.
Okay. I want the same play you ran the last time, which is the back of the stack, straight to the corner.
Okay.
Track everyone else is to the other side.
Well, okay, break them up. Send Trevor as a decoy.
Actually, that's going to happen either way. Either way, we're going to track where they go middle. I'm going to come from the corner. Going, okay?
They're going to look to coach.
Okay.
They're going to look to coach. They're going to go.
So someone step right up.
I'm going to do that.
Right.
Hey, wait.
If they stack. Let's set the stack.
Okay, I'm one.
Okay.
I'm one.
Okay.
Okay, if they poach on Dennis's corner cut, I'm just gonna step
Slide.
in. I'm gonna go right to the corner
Slide.
too.
Wide corner.
Because they're poaching behind me.
Going where they
You do
are.
the right thing. Let's set the stack now.
I'm gonna go to the corner.
We're gonna
Which corner?
Go to the flat.
Listen to me. We're gonna go
to this
45
tight corner.
degrees away from each other.
Listen up.
If they poach.
Hey!
Okay.
We're setting the stack.
Okay,
Please,
I'm a one.
set the stack.
Kareem is a two.
Okay.
Who's in?
I'll go with two.
Amos is three. Walter is four.
I'm listening.
Dennis is five. Okay, he's last.
Okay. From the stack.
Dennis is coming to the corner. Okay. If they poach on Dennis, I'm gonna step into the corner shot right there.
Well, just come straight up.
I'm the number one. It's gonna be like
Okay.
I look at you.
Okay.
Walter
And
Kevin.
then Kareem, you go the other way. You go the other way.
Garbage. Blair.
WUGC has the disc. What are they looking for here, Andy?
They're looking for a quick cut by Skip Kuhn, number one, to the sideline, and then Dennis Worson, who is not open.
WUGC has it, makes a play, has to go wide to Skip Kuhn, plays it inside. It's a goal for USA, and the World Championships go back to America.
Kevin Rhodes will remember this for the rest of his life. He scored on a pass from Skip Kuhn, and there the U.S. flag onto the field. They're mobbing each other. A well-fought 22-20 victory for the U.S.
Andy, a well-called timeout. They had time to set their play. It came off big for them.
Sure did. Skip Kuhn made a move to the corner, as you see here on the replay. Dennis Worson also cutting to the corner. He was the first shot. They didn't have him. Skip Kuhn moved to the middle of the field, got the disc, threw it to the left side to a wide open, streaking Kevin Rhodes for the 22-20 victory here in overtime for the World Ultimate Championships in Colchester, England.
Just a few announcements for players. Dinner will be out for you. Presentations will start in about 2 minutes.
Yes.
Plug them into you. Yeah, because it's going down the line anyway.
They had to work for it.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. Say again, I couldn't hear that. Yes, Robert.
Lost him.
This camera.
48. We taught us so much that we took back, as well as in 1990. It taught us so much that we took back to the United States and has helped us over the years. And so I'd like to say thank you. I think you really have been our most important. And at this point, I think it's only fitting. This is the last game for New York Ultimate, and I think it's only fitting that we played against our most important opponent. So thank you all very much.
Yeah.
You guys are a fucking great team, and you scared the shit out of me and my whole team. I know that might not be consolation for you, but that's the best that I can say, is that it went down to the wire.
With Rob Roush is around, checking the award centre in the middle of the pitch.
Now that New York Ultimate is done, I'd like to do it one time, but I'd like everybody to say our house, because it is all our house now.
It is our
Whose house? Whose house? Whose fucking house?
Very nice game. Sweet game, man. Very good game. Sweet one, guys. Very good game. Sweet game, man. Sweet, very good game, man. Keep playing, though. Good game, man. Nice game. Nice game. Danny. Good game. See you in the bar, you guys. Danny. Gotta go running. Solid. Thank you. Nice play. Yes, very sweet hand. Nice play. Nice game, man.
We will start the award ceremony, and they'll come over.
I'll be back. That day would be you.
Yo, young stud. That was today. Keep on playing, man. I'm gonna play for longer so I can play against you.
Next day I will play with you, Josh.
Nice game.
Thank you, bro. I didn't need to see you in the team. It's all good, man.
Great play. You really wanted that?
No, I'm not Walter. I'm in. Okay.
Great play. Well done, guys.
Danny, commiserations, but what a hard-fought game.
Alright, David, if I go high, you're going to see my shadow.
Okay now? Danny, commiserations, but what a hard-fought game.
Yeah, hard-fought. I don't know. The crowd seemed to be in it, at least. Well, it feels bad. We were very close. We've been playing them 88. It was a very close game, but this felt even closer because it was like going back and forth. And I felt it was a clean. There was some calls, but in the end, they were coming out stronger in the end.
You built up a great half-time lead.
Yeah. Well, we had to come in from the beginning real hard, and I thought we had very good defense. We're throwing away some in the offense, but they were doing that too, and I think our defense actually did some of that hurt.
You all looked very tired at the end.
Oh yeah. Well, on one hand you don't feel it so much, but oh yeah, doesn't matter now. I mean, you got to give it the best.
Still a game worthy of the final.
I got to get in there. Come on.
Spike the camera.
Someone take a picture.
Yeah, John.
Hey, listen up. I want to say something to everybody.
Yeah, John, not 20 of that one guy.
All these people, all you people.
Press the button.
Mrs. D has hooked everybody here up at some point or another for fucking 7 years. Let's all give her a round of applause. Yeah.
Hooking up.
The crowd.
Feeding food.
Yeah, Patty.
The crowd was great this day. A round of applause for the crowd.
The crowds. Yeah.
We're done.
And it goes a little like this.
That's Marie.
Presentations.
And keep close to the camera. Come over this side so change the island. Is that the same island as last time? Try and keep close to the camera.
Right, because otherwise he's just looking at
Can we come down here?
Okay. Dennis, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
A really close-fought game right up until the end.
Unfortunately.
You would have liked to have swept them aside a lot earlier than
Man
that.
of short answers. Go ahead.
I've learned that already. The final point, though, a well-called timeout in overtime.
Yeah, we didn't have any timeouts left until we got to overtime 2020, and we used it well. I was nervous the whole way through, and completely psyched.
Are you surprised that Sweden kept it so close?
I'm not surprised. I think everyone else on my team is surprised. I'm the person who's the nervous one. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be a game, you guys. You gotta be nervous with me. And nobody seems to be. And then boom, here it is, it's a game. And so, actually I'm a little surprised as well.
Sweden won it last time, but I think everyone on the New York team felt that this was a real championship, the two teams at their strongest.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think that they believe that they beat the best teams in the world in Japan in '92. And so they had a lot to prove, and we had a lot to prove as well. Whether they thought that they had beaten the best teams or not, they still were the reigning world champions, and we had to come and take that back. And that's exactly what we did.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
See you in New York.
Yes.
John.
Yeah.
Tell us about that final point.
Well, we were very fortunate to get the block and the turnover. We had the extra timeout because we went into overtime, but all I did was I looked upfield. I didn't have the quick, easy score, so I called a timeout. We had the extra timeout. And I just had to try and calm myself down to make sure I wouldn't throw it away. And we set up a play for the corner, for the near corner, and it didn't work. So the count got late, and I managed to swing it around, and we just worked our basic flow offense around the corner and then made a score on the other side. That was the last point, and when I saw that Frisbee in the air sailing towards that corner in the end zone and Kevin just ready to catch it, I felt complete elation.
It means you've gone through the entire tournament unbeaten.
Yes, it doesn't feel that way, but we're undefeated. And in Worlds since 1988, in the World Championships, representing the United States of America, we've never been defeated. And hopefully we never will be.
It was a match that was really worthy of the final, wasn't it? So close right up until the end.
I'll tell you, this wasn't the best quality ultimate you'll ever see. But as far as intensity and crowd involvement and camaraderie and, you know, the range of emotions went everywhere from elation to, you know, panic and then back to elation. And it was just an emotional game. And I'm just very, very glad we came out on top.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Johnny.
Let's cover the trophy. That's it for that. We'll just cover them getting the trophy.
That's on the other camera.
The presentation. The best, in a way, was Delphine Erhard of France. Delphine, where are you? If the tournament was all about coming and playing and trying your hardest, she certainly tried her hardest as best as she could. We now come to the awards for the Open Division. There were 15 teams in the Open Division. They were in two pools. They all played each other in the first round. They went through to a Division 1 and Division 2. And the results were known this morning except for the final. So in 15th place, and timely because I know they're going to have to get back to Czechoslovakia tonight, the Czech team. And from the furthest, I think, any team that has come in the Open Division, 14th place, New Zealand. And in 12th place, France. In 11th place, Switzerland. In 10th place, Denmark. up to the end of the Division 1 matches as round 2 in the Open Championships. In 8th place, Australia. And in 7th place, Great Britain. And in 6th place, Germany. In 5th place, Japan. I think we'll see a lot of that tonight on the dance floor, probably. And in 4th place, Finland. And in bronze medal position, in 3rd place, Canada. And the medals will be presented by the staff team.
Yeah, we all are.
Thank you, Canada. And in 2nd place, after a fantastic final, we really couldn't have hoped for anything better to finish the whole week off. Sweden. And the staff will now present you your silver medals. Thank you, Sweden, very much. It was a fantastic performance. Getting 1st place in the Open Division and World Champions for 1994, USA. team, would you like to present the USA team with their gold medals? Thank you.
I'm short one. I need one. Right here.
And their first place trophy, World Champions 1994 Open Division.
Cheer that we like to do, it usually goes, what is it? Never enough. What is it not? Enough. We've got a new cheer now. What is it? Enough!
Thank you, America. You're done. We're just going to move quickly on to what is a very important part of the whole tournament, and that is the Spirit of the Game awards for each division. These awards are voted on by each team.